we are back here for feature action with the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series, and we are ready for prelim feature number 1. As the drivers are on the grid, ready to go, Chase Rodman, Mike Warren alongside as we take a look at this lineup here. The number 20 car, Cole Curry, is going to be on the pole. Drivers out of Salisbury, North Carolina, and outside of him is the number 4 car of Joey Brewer from Madison, North Carolina. Row number 2 on the inside, it's going to be Alex Bonsignor from Mooresville, North Carolina, and outside of him is the 002 of Clifford Bellamy from Glen St. Mary, Florida. Row 3 on the inside, car number 157, that'll be Drew Hopkins. He's from Brodhead, Kentucky, and outside of him is number 41, Nick Davis. Nick Davis coming to us out of Concord, North Carolina. Row 4, the number 88 car, that's Cody Ernest from Dover, Pennsylvania, and outside of him is the number 24 of Kevin Davis out of Rincon, Georgia. Row 5, you got the 68 car, Ronald Piles from Kingwood, West Virginia, and outside of him is the number 52 car. That'll be Billy Northcutt, and Northcutt coming to us out of Salina, Kansas. Row number 6, the number 1 car, Johnny Ratley from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and the number 87 car, got Rusty Bilger, who was outside from Intrican, Pennsylvania. Row 7, these are the drivers out of the Last Chance Showdown, the 64 car, Logan Catellis from Stockdale, Pennsylvania. Outside of him is the number 9. That is going to be Sean Hayes, and do not have any information on Sean Hayes. Row number 8, it's the number 777, Kyle Ramsey. He's from Taylorsville, Kentucky, and outside of him is the 38 car of Ryan Carlisi from Lecanto, Florida. Joshua Ringer in the 01. He's from Kaiser, West Virginia, then the 77 of John Quills, who's outside Statesville, North Carolina for him. Row number 10, 13 car, Chris Papa. He is from West Seneca, New York. Then we've got Ian Good, Dustin Fryer, Jacob Hall, Ben Harcum, and Joshua Garrison the field for the first prelim feature of the night. Off of turn number 4, pace truck is in. Cole Curry's on the gas. We're looking for the top 12 to move into the finale, Mike.
Green flag going to come out onto the speedway, and it's going to be Curry quickly going to the front. Keep an eye on Hopkins, though. We saw him lose the bottom in his heat race. The question is, how much of that is going to be there through the duration of this 20-lap feature? He's already up to 4th, working the bottom, and we got a car around on the backstretch, it looks like.
Pace truck's pulled off. We've got, what, 1 lap in and 19 to go. Cole Curry back on the throttle. We're back on the way.
Curry going to bring the field up through turn number 1 and 2. Monsignor going to go straight to the bottom. You see the field go out about 3-4 wide through turn number 1 and 2 as Monsignor tries to stay side by side with Curry. Can't do it that time. He's going to use that early entry on the bottom through 3 and 4, though. We'll see if he can get the spot off at turn number 4. He does as he pulls the slide job. New leader off the corner. It's Monsignor, but Curry comes right back on the bottom.
Curry slides it back into turn number 1, takes the lead. Bonsignor bounces off the ball there. Top the second spot, Brewer's there, Bellamy's there. Goes into turn number 3, tries to go by 2 cars. He'll run the middle off the 4, gets by Bonsignor, who has a run to the outside, but Joey Brewer takes the second spot back. Now looks for the lead to turn 1. Now we're going to see the sliding, but Brewer is kind of running the middle.
It's one of those things, do I go for it, or do I just relax in the position knowing what's coming a little bit later? Now Brewer's going to try to do it because he's rolled the bottom well through 3 and 4, but Curry still finding the momentum on the outside at turn number 4 as he holds on to the spot. Meanwhile, a few cars working their way up through the field to keep an eye on, as Catellis already up to the number 17th, or about 15th or so, as he continues to work his way through. As remember, they're looking to get into the top 12.
Catellis rolling the bottom of the racetrack, and like I said there, Mike, the mid-packer, 4 wide back there. Catellis able to get by when those guys start bouncing off each other. Catellis, during the Last Chance Showdown, now up to the 6th position, but up front, it is hard to take your run. 4 wide in the mid-pack with 3 wide per second down the back straight.
What a battle at the front of the field of this one, and once again, Brewer trying to hold on off the corner. Bellamy clicking off second in that number 2 spot as he click off lap number 6, rather. And keep an eye on that as you see Catellis still working the bottom, but Curry doing a great job holding on to the race lead up front as a number of cars continue to jockey for position behind him.
That Bellamy looks really strong right now. The driver out of Florida, outside going, keep the track with your race there. The yellow is going to come out. We got a big pile up off the turn number 4 here on lap 7. And let's try and take a look and let you know who was involved in this one. The number 13 car, Chris. Oh, wow. It was John Quill who started this mess here. He was running just outside of a transfer spot in 14th position at the time. Got into the corner and just got into the left rear of Billy Northcutt. Spun his car around, and then here came a bunch of other competitors. We'll have to see what happens here. The green comes back out, and this time by Colt Curry puts the halfway signal into the books. 10 complete and 10 to go. Curry has led the whole way, but he has not been up front the entire time, just led every lap. And now here comes Bonsignor. Thought he was going to try and take a look to the inside, but stays right on the rear bumper of the 20 car back into 3.
They'll work through the corner. A good battle, about 3 wide or so back for about 7th spot. Is once again, we're taking a look at Catellis here, trying to work his way through turn number 3 and 4. Hayes right there as well, keeping an eye also on Ratley as they're all working the bottom of the racetrack. Hopkins gets out of shape, moves a number of positions. Bonsignor goes back as well. A tough break for a couple of drivers, right up there toward the front.
And those guys just went from 2nd and 3rd to outside of the transfer spot here as they come across. Oh, they're wrecking big down the front stretch. Catellis is involved. And that is going to bring out the yellow. Several cars. Ian Good in this one as well. And who else was back there? Man, Catellis just got hooked head on down the front straightaway.
Curry going to look to fire off at turn number 3 and 4. He's got Davis and Bellamy behind him. But again, keep an eye on that top 12. That's exactly where Hopkins is if we go back to green.
Lights come back on. We are closing in on the 5 to go signal here at Eldora Speedway. Feature event. Curry, Davis, Bellamy. We've got Brewer and Piles in the top 5. Back here, I'm going to try and scroll back and see who's on the bubble spot for this last transfer. Bonsignor slides by Ringer. He's up to 13th now. Needs to get by Ian Good, but Bonsignor slams the wall down the front straightaway. Stacks up a couple cars behind him. Including Ringer and Ernest. They keep going. We stay green. Bonsignor on the rear bumper of Good.
6 laps left to go in this one as Bonsignor still tries to work under Good through turn number 3 and 4 that time, but the 5G holding on strong to that final spot. Hopkins right in front of them as well. Bonsignor tags the wall again in turn number 1 and 2. He's got to be careful. He may lose his momentum a little bit off the corners. Looks like Good got away a little bit down the back straightaway, about 3 car lengths or so separating 12th and 13th. As you can see it, Bonsignor trying everything he can to try to get by Good, but he's starting to lose a little bit more momentum as the laps took off.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was some damage on that 50 car after all the wall taps and after being involved in that wreck up front, though. We're 4 wide for the 3rd spot. They sorted out the 3 wide back into turn number 3. Good stuff here between Hayes, who's now up to 4th. Sean Hayes started 14th, and he just got by Joey Bruton 4th. Sean Hayes, in my opinion, could win here the entire thing tonight as the yellow comes out. We've got Dustin Fryer around off of turn number 4. Looks like he was battling with number 87. Of Rusty Bilger. Those two come together off the corner. Single car incident as Bilger was able to keep going, but Dustin Fryer pace trucks off. We're back to green.
Curry's led the first 17 laps of this one. We're going to see if he can hold on to the final 3 as he goes up into turn number 1 and 2. Davis going to take a look underneath, see if he can find the momentum, but that could be dangerous as he leaves the top open. But Bellamy not taking control of it as Curry gets into the wall but keeps his momentum up. Bellamy going to try, or Davis rather, going to try to come off the corner to take advantage, but can't do it as we hit 2 to go.
Oh, we got a big incident off of turn number 4, but they all keep it straight. It involved Alex Bonsignor and the number 5G of Ian Good. They were racing for the 12th spot, got together, both went into the wall, and that allowed Joshua Ringer to slip by. He's now in the last transfer spot. The white flag is out, and Ringer has 5 car lengths over Carlisi. As the white flag's out, we'll see what happens here.
Curry gets into the wall again through turn number 1 and 2, but it doesn't phase him as it looks like he's going to go on if he can hold on to take this. They'll come off at turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Curry's going to win this preliminary feature, be the first of 12 guys to punch his ticket into tonight's feature event. Well, we're back here at the Eldora Speedway as we get ready for the second preliminary feature of the night as cars starting to get ready to grid for this 20-lap finale of this second group here tonight. Chase, if it's going to be anything as close to interesting as the first one, this could be interesting. But remember, the name of the game, you just got to get in the top 12. Doesn't matter where. It doesn't help you to finish any higher up for this feature later tonight.
Absolutely looking for the top 12 here in this one. Jaron Valley going to be on the pole of this one. Valley out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Outside of him is the number 37 car of James Stockton from Merced, California. Row number 2 on the inside, car number 43. That's going to be Grady Ehrman. He's from York, Pennsylvania. And outside of him is the 45 car of Kyle Jarrett from Ryan, Iowa. Row 3 on the inside, current Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series point leader. It's the number 15 car of Adam Carlisle from Hobart, Indiana. And outside of him It's the former and defending series champion, number 822 car of Tyler Jackson from Davis Junction, Illinois. Row 4, you've got the number 2 car of Ty Dickinson from Grinnell, Iowa, and outside of him is the number 8 car of Aiden Scraha from Perth, Western Australia. Row 5, you got Daniel Northcutt from Warrensburg, Missouri, and outside of him is the number 71 car of Daniel Stifler from Everett, Pennsylvania. Row number 6, got the number 5 of Dylan Petty from Midlothian, Texas. Outside of him is number 26 car of Sage Luther from North Platte, Nebraska. Row number 7, the number 741. He is the winner of one of the last chance showdowns, James Starry from Robstown, Texas, and outside of him is number 27 of Kyle Vaughn. Don't have a hometown on Vaughn. Then we got Isaac Salas, Dylan Thomas, Butch Baker, Bradley Means, Jeremy Akins, Joshua Brandon, Gary Weaver, Ben Choate, Christopher Hill, and Judith Cooper will be the final starter for this one. 20 laps, top 12 going to the finale. Pace truck going to pull off into the infield this time by, and the green flag is going to wave over Jared Valley and James Stockton.
Green flag is out here at Eldora as they go up through turn number 1 and 2 for the first time, and quickly Valley going to go to the bottom, straight to the top. We got one around already. He's going to get it back going.
Finale. Pace truck's off again. Valley and Stockton are going to lead him back down. We'll see if we can string some laps together here. It's been a struggle so far as they head back into one.
Probably going to do the same thing he's done so far, go straight to the top, but he's going to have a car on his outside. Is Stockton going to work the top of the racetrack and try to get by? They got Jackson on the bottom. 3 wide looking for the race lead off at turn number 2. They come to the line. It looks like from my vantage point it's going to be Stockton. You can score that lap 2, the 37 car.
3 wide for the lead. Jackson on the very, very inside of Valley and Stockton. The 45 of Jarrett is there. The 43 of Ehrman is there. 5 cars under a blanket for the lead. Does Jarrett try to make it 4 wide? He does not. Now he does. To the inside, 4 wide for second. Ehrman goes by 2 of them on the outside.
What a move by Jackson as he's going to look to slide in front of Valley that time off the corner. Can't do it. Now Valley gets in the car. They make contact coming up the front, and the car that's going to go around looks like it's going to be Ehrman on that one. And a tough break as the yellow comes out again. But it was one of those things where I think it was just bound to happen with the way things were shaping up down the back straightaway.
Yeah, that was a wild incident there. Ehrman and Jackson were on the outside and the inside of Jared Valley, and they both kind of got the little border stuff. But the green flag is back out. James Stockton is going to now have the lead, but here comes Kyle Jarrett, who is inside off at turn number 2.
It's not just Jarrett he's got to worry about, though. He's got Jackson right on his rear deck as they come down through turn number 3 and 4 for the first time off the restart. Jackson way up to the top, Jarrett right on the bottom. See if the momentum is going to stick there off of turn number 4. Jarrett right there, but it's still Stockton at the line, but not by much. Jarrett I thought he was going to try to pull the slider that time from turn 1 and 2, but couldn't do it. And Stockton just doing a great job holding this momentum on top of the racetrack.
Another driver doing a great job is number 8 of Aiden Scraha. Moved that car up into the 4th position right there behind Tyler Jackson. But Kyle Jarrett, I should say, has got the bottom rolling. Here comes the slider to turn number 1. You've got a new race leader, the 45 car of Kyle Jarrett. Takes it away from James Stockton, who turns it back to the inside. Side by side, Stockton going to return the favor, throws the slider back into turn number 3, actually rolls the middle, but is able to take the lead. Jarrett, a huge run off of 4, and is going to have it at the line.
Toughest thing I think when you pull the slide job is you got to make sure you get all the way to the top, because it takes away the second guy's momentum. Because if you don't, he's going to get you back off the crossover every time. But Jared doing a great job right there holding down, and I'm impressed with how well he's been able to run this bottom of the racetrack. Meanwhile, we got a car sideways around, and that's not good here as the look of caution comes back out here on lap number 9.
And as we go back to green, Jared, Stockton, and we've got the 822 Jackson there as well.
Kind of surprising with how good he's been off the bottom of the racetrack, that he switched to the top lane right away. He'll roll it through the middle. Jared we're talking about as he holds on to the lead. Jackson's still there trying to build his momentum up on the bottom, looking to take the race lead away. Jared caught the right rear off the wall a little bit. Is that going to be enough for Jackson to get by? Not this time as they go into turn number 1.
Yeah, Jackson not even able to make it by the 37 of James Stockton. Might lose another spot here as Scraha's got the top side wired off at turn number 4. Aiden Scraha pulls even with Tyler Jackson, actually noses ahead for the 3rd spot. Number 8 car is looking good here midway through this prelim feature event. Move him up into the 3rd spot.
You gotta wonder if Jared early in this race on the bottom was the last gas that they had to the bottom side of the racetrack in this feature, because Jared's still holding on to this one. We haven't really seen too much leeway on the bottom side is Jackson might lose another spot here. Stifler starting to find momentum on the outside and take the number 4 spot away.
Yeah, I don't think Jackson's too concerned right now. He knows he's just got to be in the top 12. He slips back to 5th right there. And how about Grady Ehrman? Remember how good he was early? Was inside the top 3, and Ehrman has now made his way back to 10th and is challenging for about 7th spot here. They're 3 wide almost down the back straightaway. Grady Ehrman, great recovery, kept his head on his shoulders and has kept himself in the fight here in that 43 car.
Still impressed with how well guys are starting to run the middle of the racetrack as well. You can see it toward mid-pack. Guys are really doing a great job because you're seeing guys catch the wall a little bit on the outside and fishtail, and it's allowing those guys right through the middle and keep control and able to get a couple spots.
Tyler Jackson is doing very well in the middle. I mean, he's losing spots, but he's really not as slow as I thought he would be with how slick it is. That time by 15 complete and 5 to go for the race leader, Kyle Jarrett. James Stockton is actually catching up to him a little bit down the backstretch as Jarrett hit the wall. Not sure how crazy he'll try and get for the lead. Scraha is there as well. Really almost a 3-car breakaway up front, nose to tail. And we'll see if anybody tries to make any big moves for this prelim feature win.
Personally, if I were them, I would hold on, especially if you're in the top 5. Just try to test out single file the last 3 laps or so of this. But we've seen stranger things happen for this as Carlisle's trying to work his way up on the outside lane. Keep an eye on the battle as we get closer to seeing who's going to get in this top 12. I got a feeling things could get crazy here in this final 3 laps.
Well, we're taking a look at the race, or I am, at least on my side of things, looking at the 12th position. Right now, it is held down by the number 48 car of Kyle Vaughn. He gets by Grady Ehrman, and now Ehrman is 1 spot out. He came into the night 7th in the point standings. Ehrman definitely, oh, yellow is out. We've got a couple around at the tail here. The lights are out. Jared, Stockton, Scraha, Stifler, and Petty, the top 5. How about Petty, the recovery for him? Didn't he have a wreck earlier? He's back into the top 5. Let's go back green.
It's going to be Jared back up to the front. We'll see who the first car to really pull out of line is. Got a couple of them. See if they can gain 1 or 2 spots here. But remember, finish in the top 12. It doesn't matter for the big feature. Just got to get into the show as this time by will come down. Click off lap number 18. 2 laps to go as Kyle Jarrett continues to lead this one up front.
See if he can put this one in the books. Kyle Jarrett back at the turns 1 and 2, running for middle. Stockton a little bit lower than him down there 1 and 2. Strawhawk's got a run on Stockton for second. Don't think we'll see anything too crazy as they come around this time by 2. The white flag, 12th spot. Right now, let's take a look. We've got Grady Ehrman's got it. Kyle Vaughn fighting back to the inside. 12 spots up for grabs. White flag in the air.
So it's all Jared out front, but the battle for 12th is Vaughn going to slide up through turn number 1 and 2. Can he come back on the inside lane as Ehrman tries to battle down? Final time through the corner. Here comes Ehrman, going to try to make the slide. It's going to be Jared who wins it. Contact behind him, and that's going to give Ehrman the daylight he needs. What a run for Ehrman off of 4 as he grabs the final transfer spot.
Some wild stuff there as Jaron Valley was involved as well. Got into the side of Kyle Vaughn. Your race winner for this one will be Kyle Jarrett. James Stockton in second. Then Aiden Scraha, Daniel Stifler, Tyler Jackson, Dylan Penny, Ty Dickinson. Then we had Butch Baker, Bradley Means, Grady Ehrman. And actually Kyle Vaughn was... Okay, oh, I think there was a disqualification after the race here, if I'm not mistaken, because it says Kyle Vaughn 11th and then Ben Choate 12th. So maybe some interesting things happening after the race there. So that's your top 12. And now it is time for the finale, Mike. And on the pole could be car number 157. That'll be Drew Hopkins. And outside of him is car number 1, Johnny Ratley. Run number 2 on the inside, car number 45. It's Kyle Jarrett. And outside of him is the 52 car of Billy Northcutt. Row 3, the 51 car, Kyle Ramsey, and outside of him is the 37 of James Stockton. Row 4, the 97 car of Butch Baker and the defending series champion, the 822 of Tyler Jackson. Row 5 on the inside of the 71 car, that's Daniel Stifler, and outside of him is the number 2 of Ty Dickinson. Row 6, the 53 of Aiden Scraha and the number 21 of Kyle Vaughn, with row number 7 showing us the number 9 car of Sean Hayes and the number 4 of Joey Brewer. The 002 of Clifford Bellamy inside of row number 8 with the 68 of Ronald Piles to the outside of him in 16th. And we've got on row number 9 the 01 of Joshua Ringer and the number 91 of Ben Choate. Row 10, the 00, Bradley Means and number 5 of Dylan Petty. And on row number 11, number 43 car, Grady Ehrman, and the number 20 car of Colt Curry. Final 2 starters in this one, the 41, Nick Davis, and the 121 of Kevin Davis. So those are your 24 starters here in this 30-lap feature for race number 2 during Season 5 of Dirt Car Esports in the Street Stock Series. Coming into the night there, Mike Adam Carlisle, the points leader, did not make the show here tonight. Cruz Cadell was second in points. He's not here. Carl Kilgore, Keith Hackney, and William Hargreaves, the entire top 5 in points, either not in the show or not here tonight. So we will definitely see a new points leader by the end of this 30-lapper.
That's going to be interesting itself. So you're going to see guys going for the win. I mean, it's too early in the season to be point racing, no question about that either way. But you're going to see guys go for the win, and this is going to help a guy like maybe Tyler Jackson, for example, who's trying to defend the title. But you could see some new blood up there at the beginning of next week, and it could make things very interesting at the end of this 30 laps.
And the guy in the best seat for that whole scenario right now is going to be Billy Northcutt. Came into the night 6th in the point standings. He starts 4th in this race. Brady Ehrman 7th in points coming to the night. He starts way back in 21st. Colt Curry 8th in points. He starts 22nd. As we go green off of turn number 4, race number 2 of the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series here at Eldora is underway. As they work off of turn number 2, race leader is going to be the 157 car of Drew Hopkins as he heads into turn number 3.
Car's got a little out of shape for a second there on the back straightaway, but Hopkins going to try to bring it around. Kyle Jarrett with a good run off the bottom. We've seen this before. As they come by, though, it's going to be Hopkins leading lap 1, and we got some trouble down at the back of the field.
Yep, Joey Brewer is one of the cars involved. And Drew Hopkins was not very good in his prelim feature. Mike, I think he finished 11th in his prelim feature, and now he leads the race. So that just goes to show that you don't need to win the prelim to have a shot to win this finale.
You know, one of the guys where, you know, re-scratching the surface before qualifying probably helped him tremendously because he had a good run earlier. He qualified very well for the first prelim as well. So we'll see how long he can hold it up there, and if he can hold it for all 30, it can be one heck of a night for him at the end. But we're back to green as Hopkins going to fire here as we hit lap number 3 of this 30-lap feature event.
27 to go. Hopkins into turn number 1. Ratley trying to run the outside, stays alongside of him. On the inside, here comes the 45 of Kyle Jarrett, the winner of the second prelim feature. Now Billy Northcutt gonna look to the outside of him, move Northcutt up into 3rd. He gets by Jarrett up front, still door-to-door for the race lead off of 4.
It's going to be Hopkins coming down the front straightaway as they cross the line. Nope, give it to Ratley, actually, as he just nosed them out on the outside lane. Good job keeping the wheel-to-wheel off of turn number 2. As they come down, it's going to be Northcutt right there as well, looking to the outside of Jarrett. Rounding out your top 5 is Ramsey. Good 5-car battle, and then they're spread out behind him. But so far, these guys keeping it right together, almost like a box formation coming down to your top 2 rows.
This racetrack setup is going to be interesting. You guys got to have a good car setup here when it's hooked up. They got to have a good one for when it gets slick, because I'd say by the time lap 17 is going to be my guess when it rolls around is when this track starts to really slick up. Slider for the lead. Hopkins takes it away. Ratley back to the inside. He'll lead lap number 6, and still side by side for 3rd. The 45 of Jarrett, the number 52 car of Northcutt. Slider again for the lead. Ratley's got it. Now Hopkins back to the inside.
What a battle for the race lead as Hopkins continuing to do this. He'll look to slide again. Ratley trying to play it. He's going to go to the bottom to try to take the crossover move. Can't do it that time, though, as Hopkins takes over. Now we'll see what Ratley does the slider again. He does the same thing. Hopkins dives right back under him. A great side-by-side battle, but yellow is going to be out onto the speedway again as they roll into turn number 3.
Sean Hayes, I got $2 on to be on the podium. Anybody in the YouTube chat, let me know if you'd like to get in on that as well. Pace truck is off. Green flag back out as Hopkins. It's a great start, as does Kyle Jarrett, as Hopkins does not get to the gearbox very good, and Jarrett's going to look for the lead to turn 1.
Jarrett going to go right to the bottom to try to find his momentum, but Hopkins comes back on the top. Ratley going to look to file right behind him as they go down into turn number 3 and 4. And keep an eye on Hayes. He's already up to 6th off the restart. He's going to look to crack the top 5 for the first time in this feature as Hopkins leads lap number 8.
Hayes very strong. Car number 9, the white and pink car. You can't miss him out there. Jarrett slides in front of Hopkins, takes the lead away. Ratley gets into the back of Jarrett. Nearly causes a collision down the back straightaway. They all keep on going. 3-car battle up front. Look at Hayes now trying to crack the top 5. Almost got to the side of Stockton. Now he's 3 wide down the front straightaway with Jackson and the 51 of Ramsey.
That time Hayes did make contact with Jackson coming up off of turn number 4, but he's continuing to roll the momentum strong on the bottom, holding on. He drops back to 7th this time, but now we got a 2-car battle for 2nd as Hayes slides right in. He looks like he's just going to have 5th, sliding up a little bit off of turn number 4 is Ramsey. Is allow Hayes to get enough room as they come through the corners. Not this time, but we'll hold on.
Hayes tries to slap the racetrack. Not enough there. The 51 of Ramsey and the 8 of Jackson go around. Battle back up front. Jared to the inside line. Trying to get by the 157 of Hopkins on the racetrack. Jared gets sideways. Gets hit by Northcutt. Now that's going to really impede the progress of the 45 car. He loses second. Now gets put in the wall. Northcutt to second. Now to the inside of Hopkins for the lead.
You can't blame Northcutt for seeing some daylight and taking that number 2 spot away, but he may have a shot coming into the shorts from the 45 of Jared as they go down through turn number 3 and 4. Track starts to become a little bit more top dominant. Here is a Hayes back into 7th. You can see him roll by, and actually, correct me if I'm wrong, he sits 6th that time as he gets by Ramsey right there as well as they continue to go side by side for position. But it seems like the top 3 start to go to the top. We'll see if anybody just decides to come out as we hit the halfway point.
Yeah, Hayes just got a little bit messed up there. The 37 of Stockton hit the wall right in front of him. He ran to the back, but lost a spot to Ramsey, lost a spot to Jackson. Back up front, though, 4 cars. Nose to tail as Ratley is back to 4th. Now Ratley tries the middle. I like that line right there out of the 1 car. The middle is still good. If you enter in on the top of turn 1, get to the middle through the center off of 2. It's fast, and now Ratley's trying to go by for second, Carnival 1.
Thing too, the low line looks like it might still have a little grip, but you have to hit it just right in 3 and 4. Ramsey gets a little out of shape coming down the front straightaway. See if he can gather it back up. Looks like he does. But right now, Ratley holding on to that number 4 spot, but he may be running out of time. And now Hayes going to try the bottom once again to see if he can get a little bit of an advantage from 3 and 4.
Caution just came out as you said that, as we got Ben Choate around in car number 91. Yellow is out. He was running 21st at the time of this accident. The first race of Volusia has turned around very nicely here tonight. Jared, another good restart. We'll see if we can stay green.
He'll work the bottom of the racetrack, try to pull the slider. There he goes. He goes all the way to the top, but Hopkins read it like a book. He comes back on the crossover. We'll see if he can hold on to his momentum on the top side. We'll see what Hopkins can do as he tries to pull the slider off the corner. He just gets enough room, and he has it. It's going to be Hopkins holding on to the race lead, but Jared right there going to try to do it again here with 3 laps to go.
Kyle Jarrett not going to settle for second. Wants the $100 payday here with the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series. Hopkins back to the inside. And I'll tell you right now, the guy that gets slid in turn 4 on the last corner is going to be right in the money spot. Off of turn number 4 this time by 3 to go. Ratley rolls the bottom right there nicely and pulls up alongside Jared for second.
We'll see if Ratley can find the momentum to get that spot. Looks like there's just a touch of grip down on the bottom of the racetrack, but is it enough to be able to use the momentum to get by him? We'll find out as they come by. They'll see 2 to go this time as 28 are in. 2 remain for Hopkins, who's looking to hold on to that 157 car.
Jared thought we were going to see the slider there. Hopkins goes in the middle. Might give momentum to Jared, who tags the wall into turn number 1. Gets a run down the back straightaway. Does Jared make the move here, or does Hopkins block the move? I think he should have went there because I feel like Hopkins might slide himself for the rest of this race. The white flag's out this time by.
Final lap as they come down through turn number 4. We'll see if he's got anything. Ratley going to go to the bottom, looking to take the number 2 spot away. Hayes going to slide into 4th, but now all eyes are on Hopkins as they head down the back straightaway. Final time down through turn number 3 and 4. He'll go to the bottom and opens up the top. Does Jared have enough as they come off of turn number 3 and 4? No, he doesn't. Your winner will be Drew Hopkins. Second is going to be Jared coming across the line. Third is Ratley. Northcutt will finish in 4th, and Sean Hayes will round out the top 5. What a finish for Hopkins, who picks up the win.
$100 richer to the 157 of Drew Hopkins. 6th place was Tyler Jackson. 7th was Kyle Ramsey. 8th was James Stockton. 9th was Daniel Stifler. And 10th went to the number 002 car of Clifford Bellamy. Big night for Drew Hopkins. I believe his first ever start with the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series. We've seen him several times with the Dirt Car Esports Tour, but never with the Street Stocks, and that is 2 weeks in a row where we've had a driver make their debut in the series and pick up the victory. Well, Mike, that's all we've got here tonight from the Eldora Speedway. I appreciate you joining me up here in the booth and making this a little bit easier on me. When you're by yourself, it's tough for these races, but you did a great job. And we'll either see you up here, next week, or we'll see you down there on the racetrack.
Definitely. A lot of fun joining you guys here for tonight. Great racing out at the Big E, and, looking forward to wherever I'm going to be next week as we head to Mechanicsburg.
All right, well, that is all we've got here tonight. We want to thank Mick for doing all the production work behind the scenes. Mike Warren, my name is Chase Rodman. We'll see you guys next Wednesday night here for Williams Grove Speedway with race number 3 of the Dirt Car Esports Street Stock Series.
This has been a presentation of Dirt Vision, a World Racing Group property. To get information about upcoming broadcasts, visit us on social media or at dirtvision.com.
Vision is home to all the greatest shows on dirt. World of Outlaws sprints, late models, and Super Dirt Car Series. You also get Dirt Car Summer Nationals and weekly shows from America's top tracks. Dirt Vision has the best all-around live coverage with flexible options for casual and hardcore fans. No commitments, cancel anytime, apps for most devices. Get your Fast Pass now at dirtvision.com.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
You wanted the best, you got them for a breast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws! World of Outlaws Dirt Racing is available now.
The greatest shows on dirt have the best fan gear in motorsports. Show your support for World of Outlaws sprints and late models. Go to worldofoutlaws.com and make your way to the Buy Now section in the upper right corner. You'll find hats, shirts, hoodies, and other great souvenirs for all fans. Spend $50 or more to get free shipping. Shop anytime at worldofoutlaws.com.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to round number 2 of the 2022 World of Outlaws CARQUEST Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing. We're at the Big E Eldora Speedway for this second of 10 rounds on this 2022 campaign. Tim Terry and Chase Rodman here to call all the action for you. And Chase, last week was exciting to kick off this series, but can't wait for tonight. Always love coming to Eldora.
Yeah, this place has put on some of the best shows we've ever seen with this World of Outlaws CARQUEST Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. Remember back to 2020, the 3-car battle in the waning laps between Tim Ryan, Alex Bergeron, and Hayden Cardwell, a race that I will never forget, and the people that were watching that night will probably never forget as well. We hope to see another memorable moment here tonight at the Big E once again.
It's round number 2 of a 10-race series, and obviously just came off Volusia last week. We're going to head to Williams Grove on round number 3, and all throughout, it's simple. 10 straight Monday nights. We work our way through the holidays. We celebrate with Bristol Dirt, and then we move forward all the way to January 30th with the dirt track at Charlotte. So a very exciting schedule coming up, but we are at Eldora this evening. This is a beautiful racetrack. Chase, what are we in for tonight?
Well, big half-mile racetrack located in Rossburg, Ohio, created by, or built, I should say, by Earl Baltus a long time ago, back there in 1953. In the middle of 2000s, Tony Stewart took it over, and it is now in its current form. Has hosted NASCAR truck races, obviously hosts the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. It hosts late models as well with the World, the Dream. Some of the biggest dirt races in the country all are here at the Eldora Speedway. Seats 30,000 people. You can see right there, James Edens, the defending winner here at Eldora Speedway.
So if you are new to our program, welcome in to the World of Outlaws CARQUEST Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing. We're going to run 4 heat races this evening, 10 laps in length for each. We're going to take the top 4, and they're going to advance into the 35-lap feature. 2 last chance showdowns. We'll add 2 laps. We'll take the top 2 and move them on to the feature. So 20 cars will advance directly into that feature event. 35 cars have qualified this evening, and we are getting ready to grid the first heat race of the evening. And there's some names up in front that I think are going to put on a show.
Yeah, we've got a driver that did not have a very good week last week, going to be on the pole of this one. It is going to be Braden Eiler, the driver out of Franklin, Pennsylvania for Elbows Up Simsport in car number 5. And outside of him, it's going to be Hayden Cardwell, the driver out of Sevierville, Tennessee, the former World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion. Row number 2 on the inside, that's where you're going to find Ross Kaiser, the driver out of San Jose, California for Momentum Simsport in car number 4. And outside of him, another California driver, the 14 of J.D. Brown from Bakersfield for Slick Simsport. Row number 3 on the inside, this driver led some laps last week at the Volusia Speedway Park. He is out of Fulton, Missouri for M9 Simsport. It's the 86 of Timothy Smith. And outside of him, you've got the number 48 of Dylan Yeager for CFM Esports. He's out of Hamilton Township, New Jersey. Row number 4, the number 25 car of Tyler Ducharme. He's from Bomacene, Vermont for Slick Simsport. And outside of him, one of our rookie contenders this year in car number 39, it's Andrew Heffler out of Watertown, Wisconsin from Momentum Simsport. And your final starter here in this one, another one of our rookie contenders from Brandon, Florida, car number 60, it's Sean English. So 9 cars here, 10 laps, and the top 4 finishers all go straight directly to tonight's 35-lap main event here at the Eldora Speedway. And as we've seen in the past here, Tim, these heat races can get absolutely wild, especially here with the sprint cars. This place is so wide, and it's just built for great racing. And every time we show up here, we always see great racing. It doesn't matter if it's the feature, the last chance showdown, or the heat races. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
These drivers this season competing for prizes. Of course, we'll give the winner tonight $300. Second place will receive $200, and third place in the feature will receive $100. And you see the top 10 for points fund on your screen, with the winner taking $10,000. This being round number 2, still plenty of time to maybe make some time up and make some spots up and points up that you might have lost on round number 1. And with Braden Eiler up in front, you talk about those points. Every time that we see, as you see the weather on the screen as well, beautiful day here at Eldora Speedway. Every time we saw Braden last week, he was kind of elbows up, no pun intended, in the middle of the field trying to pick up spots. So he's got at least track position to start off the night at Eldora.
Yeah, Braden Eiler, a multi-time winner here with this series. Got his first one, I want to say, back in 2019 at the Knoxville Raceway. Turned into a fuel mileage race, but Eiler was able to come out on top there and got a win the next season, I believe, as well. One of our youngest drivers in the field there is car number 5. Him and Logan Rumsey, both from Pennsylvania, and both young drivers, and they put in a lot of time here on the iRacing simulation. Rumsey actually a multi-pro, I guess you'd say. He's a pro in the late model series as well, but Eiler has always been fast. He's always fun to watch, and usually he doesn't qualify very well. So tonight, qualifying quick time on the pole, this is really going to help him out to maybe send him to victory lane tonight.
You caught a glimpse of that 86 car on that last shot, Timothy Smith, and that was the driver that you mentioned off the grid, Chase, that it kind of worked the outside line in round number 1 and piloted his way to the front of the field and wasn't able to take away the victory, but it was a very close finish. So keep your eye on Timothy Smith, currently starting position number 5, as he'll roll that red and black car from the inside of row number 3. As our field has rolled off, we'll have a couple of pace laps, and then we'll throw the green on the first heat race this evening.
And Timothy Smith comes into the night 5th in the point standings with that 5th place finish last week at Volusia Speedway Park. Also want to highlight the driver outside of the front row, Hayden Cardwell. Remember, during the late model series a few months ago there, Tim, he started off the season with the win at Fairbury, the very first race of the year. Then after that, it just seemed like the wheels came off. He could not make features. He was always in the last chance showdown. Tonight, he's got a good qualifying effort, starts outside the front row, trying to rebound after, just a bad showing at Volusia Speedway Park. We know Cardwell is capable of getting victories with this series, and maybe tonight is the night. You got to be fast, or you got to run the top to be fast here at Eldora, and I would say that, Hayden Cardwell, in my opinion, is one of the best at running the top here on iRacing, so I expect to see him be a contender here tonight. As the pace truck pulls off, heat race number 1 is green, with Eiler leading him down the front straightaway.
Eiler will have Cardwell in behind, a little bit of an issue in behind. We are going to stay green in these heat races, so they're going to have to pick up everything that they can. Side by side for the lead is the CarQuest Auto Parts 07. Cardwell looked to the inside of the leader that time, couldn't make it work.
A couple cars getting together at the tail end of the field. We will stay green. No yellows in the heat races. It's going to be Eiler with the lead. Cardwell in second. Third spot is Brown, and fourth spot right now is the number 25 of Tyler Ducharme. Good run here for Sean English. He was able to miss that first lap melee, and he's from 9th up into the 5th spot, but needs one more if he wants to go straight to the feature. Now he's getting slid by Andrew Heffler. Heffler takes that spot away down the front straightaway.
Heffler trying to take it away from English. English was that driver that missed it last week as Cardwell might have got a little bit of the wall there that last time by as you ride on board with Tyler Ducharme is looking up to the top 3 currently in the bubble position. And we're looking ahead. He's got a little bit of a gap back to position number 5. As long as he can hold it, should be okay, but still got half the race to get this thing done.
And you can see the racetrack still has a lot of moisture and a little bit slick off and on the exit of the corners here, so not a whole lot of throttle control being used by these drivers quite yet. They are probably about full throttle around the Eldora Speedway right now, but that will not be the case later on in that feature event once this track starts to slick off a little bit, starts to lose that moisture, and that's when things start to get exciting. Up front, it's all about the number 5 of Eiler. He'll come by this time by and have 3 laps to go.
This is an entertaining battle in behind. You saw it from Ducharme, and now you see it from the outside of the race car as the 60 of English battles with Heffler. There goes English back to the inside. This is a great show chase. Unfortunately, it's for the pole position in the last chance showdown. It's not to lock yourself into the feature.
Yeah, and Heffler got the wall off of 2 that last time by, and these guys are actually catching up, it looks like, to the 4th place car of Tyler Ducharme. Up front, Cardwell about 3 car lengths behind your race leader, but Sean English, and English hits the wall off of turn number 4, comes to the white flag, 1 lap to go here in heat race number 1.
Final lap of competition in this first heat race, and it has flown by. Braden Eiler will come through the final set of corners and come by this time and collect that checkered flag. He will win heat race number 1 and kind of pulled away in those 10 laps over Hayden Cardwell, J.D. Brown, and Tyler Ducharme. Your top 4, English, Heffler, Smith, Yeager, and Kaiser, will have to work their way through a last chance showdown. And the top 3 or 4 kind of separated themselves. Everybody else kind of found a place to race. We'll see how heat race number 2 shakes out.
Yeah, let's see the lineup for this one. On the pole, it is going to be the 2-time series champion from Drummondville, Quebec, Canada, the Team ABR setup shop number 12 of Alex Bergeron. And outside of him, it's going to be car number 00 for Swindell Speed Lab Esports out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, Kendall Tucker. Row number 2 on the inside, the inaugural winner here back in 2018, car number 74, that's Adam Elby from Tracy, California for Swindell Speed Lab Esports. Outside of him, it's going to be the driver out of Berwick, Pennsylvania for Momentum Simsport. The number 17 is Eric Whitner. Row 3 on the inside, car number 16, that'll be Blake Giglio for N9 Simsport from Williamson, New York. And outside of him, the 52 car, that's James Edens from Santa Rosa, California for Swindell Speed Lab Esports. Row number 4 on the inside, car number 42, that'll be Paul Bryan from Little Mountain, Queensland, Australia for Man-Up Sim Racing in car number 42. And outside of him, the number 18 for Tony Stewart Racing, it's the driver out of Brookfield, Wisconsin, the 18 of Austin Selman. Final starter in this one, it's the driver out of Chico, California, car number 24 from Momentum Simsport. It is Tanner Pettit rounding out the field for this 9-car heat race number 2. 10 laps, as we mentioned, the last heat race, 10 laps, top 4, moving straight on into the feature. And in this one, Tim, we got a couple of guys at the top of the point standings. Alex Bergeron on the pole, and you got James Edens, not a good qualifying effort. He came in 2nd in the points. He starts way back in 6th right now.
Yeah, he's got some time and some positions to make up, and we have a holiday sale. We thought the Black Friday sale was great. This holiday sale is even better. 25% off renewals and 50% off new memberships. Renewals are good, at least that 25% off, good until December 16th. So it's not all the way to the holidays, but get yourself a little bit of a present before we go into that little stretch. 25% off renewals until December 16th and 50% off new memberships. Head to iRacing.com/holiday-sale to see your deal today. And for more information, of course, on how to get your career started or to get on and see the vast array of racetracks and cars and different series that are a part of this iRacing platform, head over to iRacing.com today as the field rolls off for heat race number 2. And going to be tough to beat Bergeron as it was last week. We saw a couple of moments there where Timothy Smith got by and there was a little bit of battling up in front. But Bergeron trying to get at least the outside starting position, the outside of the front row starting position from this second heat race. 2 more heat races to come after this, but don't count out Kendall Tucker. Adam Elby's always quick, and then I'm interested to see, as you mentioned, Chase, what James Edens does from position number 6.
Yeah, we talked about the top 2 in points being in this heat race with Bergeron and Edens. How about the last 3 winners here? Actually, the only former winners of Eldora Speedway are in this heat race as well, with Bergeron back in 2020, James Edens in 2021, and Adam Elby in 2018. So a lot of experience, a lot of winning experience here at the Big E in this heat race. This could get exciting. Kendall Tucker, as you mentioned, always exciting to watch, always fast, looking for his first ever win with this Sprint Car Series. He's been a winner with the late models in the past, but never with the sprint cars. Pace truck is off, and the green flag is out. A little bit of a wheel right there. The 12 and the 00 get together on the start.
And Tucker up the hill a little bit. It's 3 wide for position number 3 on back. And Tucker trying to get that outside line going one more time. He battles with the 74 of Adam Elby as they continue to go wheel to wheel. They get single file for the moment for at least your top 3 spots. 4th is under fire. Whitner has Edens looking.
Yeah, Whitner trying to hang on and hold off the 52 car of Edens. It's right now Team ABR in the lead. Then you got Swindell Speed Lab, and then you got the 17 of Eric Whitner back there for Momentum Simsport. Then it's another Speed Lab car back behind him. James Edens trying to get up to the back bumper. He's all over him, heading back into turn number 3. Just waiting to make the move here is the number 52 car. Still a lot of time here left in this one, not even halfway through yet.
But if you can get this one position now and pick it off, and then you can get a couple of insurance positions and move up the grid a little bit more if you're James Edens. But you got to get by Whitmer first and try to make something happen. Kind of status quo in this one. We saw a lot of slide jobs in the middle portion to the late laps of the last heat race as you ride on board. Lake trying to get up here and get another position. Currently riding in position number 6 in the 16, but needs 2 more spots.
Yeah, Giglio going to have his hands full here with this one, trying to get by Edens, as Edens still working on the back bumper of Eric Whitner as they head back into turns 3 and 4. Big lead here for Alex Bergeron. Last time by, it was a half, or more than half of a second. This time by, it is going to be 7/10 of a second. Now Edens took to the inside as Whitner hits the wall. Off of turn number 2, bound for the transfer spot into turn 3.
Rode that wall just enough for Edens to get by, and now Whitner going to go back to the inside as they're still going to be wheel to wheel. Whitner somehow still has that position. Edens has to find a way to get by. Power move this time, trying to make something happen down into corner number 3, and the 17 going to point it back to the inside.
Yeah, good stuff here. White flag the next time by for Bergeron as Edens and Whitner continue to go at a big diamond off the corner for the 52 car. He's done that for the last 3 laps or so. He'll slide up across the nose right there. My goodness, close call between James Edens and Eric Whitner. The white flag is out. Who's going to get it, Tim?
Whitner's been able to get to the inside in turn number 4 and just power that number 17 off of the corner. Up in front, Alex Bergeron. Rounds 3 and 4. No harm, no foul. The 12 will pick up the victory. Kendall Tucker in second. Elby and James Edens scored in position number 4 at the end of that one after a last lap battle to take that one away. Edens over Giglio, Whitner, Bryan, Pettit, and Semmelman. 5th on back will be headed to a last chance showdown. Top 4 will be headed to the feature event. We've still got 2 heat races to come. They come up after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
World of Outlaws Dirt Racing is available now.
The World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series is brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts and by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available now on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5.
Welcome back to Eldora, round number 2 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series, powered by iRacing. And we get ready for the third of 4 heat races this evening. Chase, who is starting this one?
Yeah, on the pole of this one, it is a rookie driver this season for a Momentum Sim Sport. He's out of Cass City, Michigan, the number 20 car of Aiden Forster. And outside of him, car number 51, that'll be Clayton Tilley for also Momentum Sim Sport from Bibra Lake, Western Australia. Inside of row number 2, it's going to be the number 21 car of John Helms from Olivehurst, California. CFM Esports is the entry for that driver. Outside of him, it's car number 7 from Newton, Iowa, the M9 Sim Sport number 7 of Johnny Anderson. Then in row number 3, we got the number 1 car on the inside. It's going to be Mason Hannigan for Black Diamond Motorsports from Pittsboro, Indiana, in car number 1. And outside of him, the 13 car, that'll be Aiden Beerline for Team AVR Setup Shop from Woodford, Virginia. Row number 4 on the inside, you got the number 50 car. That'll be Clayton Davies. He is out at Cessnock, New South Wales, Australia. And outside of him, the number 9 machine of Tanner Miller for Scott Thomason Racing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Final starter in this one, that's going to be Bryce Lucius from Findlay, Ohio, the Fincell Motorsports number 22 car. He will be the 9th starter in this third heat race with 1 left to run after this here, Tim. Top 4 moving on to the feature, and this is what all these drivers are going for here, $10,000 championship. As you can see, it pays out to the top 10 in that championship, and then per race you get $300 to win, $200 for second, $100 for third. All that money totaling up to $25,000 here in 2022.
And we remind you as well that these drivers are running for heat race points, or points in these heat races, along with the feature. So you might think that the feature obviously is weighted a little bit more as it is Chase, but you can gain a couple of points here and there throughout the heat races. And with 10 of these rounds, they definitely add up over that season to try to get to your $10,000 bonus as the champion in 2022. As Forster and Tilley get ready to pull out of the pits behind the pace truck. For more information on this series, schedule, standings, the drivers, all the information you would ever need for the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing, head to iRacing.com/WOOSC. Once again, that's iRacing.com/WOOSC, and you can get all the information that you need on this series. Figure out where your favorite driver is running in points, the schedule, where we're going next, and what have you. And I know they're updating the driver roster over there as well. They had the neat little spotter package that we had for the late models that I believe is coming up the pipeline too.
Yeah, I'm looking at that link actually right now. I look at it every single time we do one of these races here, Tim, and it sounds like an issue for Clayton Tilley in this race. He was scheduled to start outside the front row, and he will actually not make the call here for this one. So that is actually going to move this number 7 car of Johnny Anderson up to the outside of the front row. And Anderson, one of the drivers that we see race in real life. He runs weekly at the Knoxville Raceway in the 360 division there, and it's great to see that real-life flavor kind of get added in here to this virtual pro series. As the green flag comes out here, heat race number 3. 4 more drivers going to try and punch their ticket into the feature event.
And quickly, the leader of Forster gets out to the advantage, and then in behind, they're kind of battling. Well, they're battling for the lead now because here comes Johnny Anderson in that 7A up the racetrack, back down as Forster. They'll complete lap number 1. We got a 2 and maybe 3-way battle for position number 4. 1 slide job back there.
Wow, Tanner Miller on the move. 3 wide for the lead now. Almost contact between Anderson and Forster. Your new leader is going to be the number 13 car of Aiden Beerline. He goes from 3rd to 1st. Now Anderson crosses the back up 3 wide again off of turn number 2. Good stuff up here at the front of the field.
Battle for the lead, battle to transfer. Where do you watch here in this race as Anderson goes back to the inside in the 7A, looking to pick up a spot on Forster, looking to pick up the spot on Beerline. He'll do so. Beerline goes back to the inside and tries to take the lead away again. You ride on board with Aiden. Looking back as the 20 of Forster tries that slide job, can't do it. Anderson trying to get to the inside, will not do so. Beerline takes the biggest lead I think we've seen all heat race.
We need a quadruple box to get all the action in on this one. And back behind these guys, the battle for 4th wages on. The number 9 car of Tanner Miller started back in 8th. He's got the transfer. Now he doesn't. John Helms crosses him back up. Tanner Miller back to the inside, down the back straightaway. Good stuff for 4th and good stuff for 2nd as Forster takes the P2.
Anderson trying to get back to the inside, trying to take 2nd place away behind them. Helms has the position for the time being, wants to get up there on Forster and make something happen. As you ride on board in behind, I believe that's Hannigan, Mason Hannigan, trying to get something done here in these final closing laps. Everybody's on top of each other. Who's going to make that one small mistake?
2 to go next time by. Oh, Helms hits the wall in the back straightaway. He hangs on to that 4 spot, but up ahead of him, Slider right there, barely clearing the number 7 car, was the 20 of Aiden Forster. Now he goes down to block. Anderson gets into the back of getting into turn number 1. Close call there for second, but Johnny Anderson and Aiden Forster, he blocks him again to hit the inside wall. And Forster and Anderson are out of this one.
2 drivers that were in transfer positions, and they are definitely not going to get in through this heat race. Up in front, it's all Aiden Beerline as a battle for second on back and trying to transfer in. We'll see who gets through this mess in a moment as Beerline comes home with the victory. It's going to be Tanner Miller, Mason Hannigan, and John Helms. Your top 4. Bryce Lucius going to finish in position number 5. Had an opportunity at the end of that one after Anderson and Forster made their contact. But Lucius going to be the first driver out. Clayton Davies going to complete your field. So a very interesting heat race start to finish for that one. The first 2 were kind of calm in comparison, Chase. I don't know what heat race number 4 is going to hold, but it's coming at us.
Yeah, there are some big names here in this one, including the driver on the pole out of Manchester, Pennsylvania. For Slick Sim Sport, it's the number 41 of Logan Rumsey. And outside of him, car number 85, that's going to be the driver out of Millersburg, Pennsylvania. For Outlaws Sim Sport, it's Tyler Schell. Row 2 on the inside, the defending World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion. And car number 33 from Chesney, South Carolina for CFM Esports, it's Evan C. And outside of him, you got car number 11, one of our rookie contenders for Momentum Sim Sport from Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's Kenny Hoffman. Row number 3 on the inside, it's going to be car number 127, a former World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion. That'll be Blake Majulis from Jamestown, New York for CFM Esports. And outside of him, it's the number 174 car of Loic Bernier from Victoriaville, Quebec, Canada for Slick Sim Sport. In row number 4, you find the number 49 car. That'll be Ryan Avila. He is from Lemoore, California for Momentum Sim Sport as well. And your final starter here in this one, it's Kenny Miller III from Morgantown, Pennsylvania for M9 Sim Sport in car number 23. So, like you said, Tim, the first 2 heat races kind of snoozers in comparison to that third one, and I think that's because this racetrack is just getting into where you can see it right there on your top right of the screen. You see where that black stuff is right there compared to the brown dirt. It's starting to get slick. It's starting to be where you need to get some throttle control. It's tough to run the top of the track, and that is when you start to see some crazy maneuvers like we saw in that last one. So here is a good look at it right here, Tim. You get a good look at it. You see right in the middle of the screen right now, that's where there's a lot of moisture in the track. Below it and on top of that is where it's gray, where it's black, and that's where you cannot be running wide open, or else you're going to spin the tires, you're going to spin the car around, you're going to get sideways, and so that's where these guys will be moving their top wings back, trying to get some downforce on that wing, and that's when things get exciting, especially in the feature when it gets black slick.
Well, we saw in that last heat race, everybody seemed to have that, everything ramped up, the intensity ramped up just a little bit, and we saw it beyond Beerline after the first 4 or 5 laps. They were fighting for second. They were fighting all the way back to the end of the grid. Now we've got some really solid big names in this one. They're going to be trying to walk that fine line and get everything that they can here, because I think looking at this heat race, you got Rumsey, you got C, you got Majulis, you've got Tyler Schell on the outside, Kenny Hoffman, you got Bernier, Avila, Miller. There's no slouch in here. There's 8 cars. We're taking 4. I think somebody's going to be a little disappointed they're going to a last chance showdown.
Yeah, this is maybe the toughest heat race all around here, all night long, with Rumsey and Schell and Evan C right there. Schell and C coming to the night, top 5 in the point standings. Logan Rumsey 9th in points coming into the night as well. And then you got C and Majulis, both those guys former Late Model Series champions. They know how to get the job done in World Championship competition. And then you got Kenny Miller back there starting in 8th, did not get a good qualifying effort in at all. And, we were talking about a minute ago about a driver that races in real life with Johnny Anderson, Kenny Miller III, also a sprint car driver in real life, non-wing and winged, 410s, 360s, and he's had a lot of success in the Pennsylvania area as well, in a micro sprint competition as well. So excited to see what he can do here. I was talking about him last week as one of the favorites for maybe Rookie of the Year, but we'll see what happens. The green flag is out for the final heat race of the night, and up front, it's Logan Rumsey with the lead.
And a little contact already. We're sliding some cars around, and Blake Majulis is in the middle of it. We'll stay green flag racing, and there's one big name that's going to have to go to a last chance showdown.
Yeah, I don't think Majula's going to be able to recover from that unless these guys up front get together. Good race for fourth right now. Loic Bernier's got it. Ryan Avila trying to get up there with him. Those are two rookies battling for that spot. Now a race for the lead up front. Big turn down the hill from the 85 of Tyler Schell. Might see the slider to turn number 1, and we do. Number 85 car up the racetrack, takes the lead. Rumsey crosses back underneath them side by side for the top spot.
You're riding with Ryan Avila, trying to pick up position number 4 away from Bernier, and a front row seat to the slide jumps up in front. Schell to the inside, Rumsey to the outside. As they continue on, Schell going to take that advantage, and there is the 174 and behind. Little contact there as they battle out for the final transfer position.
What a camera angle on top of the wing right there from Loic Bernier and the 49 of Ryan Avila. But back up front, good stuff. Tyler Schell takes the lead back again from the 41 of Logan Rumsey. These two have been going at it the entire race, that time by halfway through, and it's Tyler Schell now with the lead. But Rumsey turns it down the hill, might have a run down the back straightaway.
Rumsey's been trying to make this move the last couple laps. He's going to try to do it right here up the hill. Schell goes back to the inside, crosses him over. Schell will continue to lead this heat race. Rumsey trying to make something happen, and not too far behind if they continue to do this is Evan C., even though they may run out of time. You ride on board with Logan Rumsey.
And look at the laser focus from the young driver there out of Manchester, Pennsylvania. Rumsey trying to track down the number 85 of Tyler Schell. Next time by will be 2 laps to go. Rumsey gets a good run off of turn number 2, closes in slightly on your race leader. Now Schell runs the bottom off of turn number 4. Interesting line there from your race leader. That time by 2 to go. That white flag next time by.
He's trying to get that lead back is Logan Rumsey, but he's got Tyler Schell in his crosshairs. Can he make it happen? He'll come by this time and take the white flag. Final lap in a heat race number 4 for the World of Outlaws CarQuest Sprint Car Series, and Schell takes the inside, and he's going to ride it to the victory. Tyler Schell wins heat race number 4. Logan Rumsey in second. Evan C. very comfortable in position at number 3, and Avila in 4th after the first couple of laps. A little contact made there with Majulis, Hoffman, and Miller. They all end up on the outside looking in with Bernier 1 spot outside looking in position number 5. Heat races are completed. We got 2 last chance showdowns. They come up after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Modified DLC pack also features the Federated Auto Parts Raceway and I-55 and will be available for digital purchase on the PlayStation and Xbox stores this month.
The World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series is brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts and by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available now on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5.
Welcome back to Eldora, round number 2 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing. I hope during that break you popped your popcorn and refreshed your beverage, because this first last chance showdown chase is full of big names. we're going to have some disappointed drivers after this.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at the lineup of this one. On the pole, going to be car number 60. That is Sean English on the pole. Outside of him is the number 22 of Bryce Lucius. Row number 2 on the inside, the 39 machine of Andrew Heffler. And outside of him is the number 7 of Johnny Anderson. Row 3 to 86, needing a good run here to keep his good spot in the point standings is the 86 of Timothy Smith. And outside of him is the number 20 of Aiden Forster. Row 4, the 48 car of Dylan Yeager. And outside of him is the number 50 car Clayton Davies. And your final starter for this one is the number 4 of Ross Kaiser. So, Tim, I know people are asking, man, why are you guys talking about points in race number 2? It's only race 2, blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, and with this series, with only 10 races back-to-back, 10 weeks in a row, you have got to be good every single night out. You cannot have a bad night. You cannot miss a feature, or else you are not going to put yourself in position for that $10,000 check.
You cannot dig your hole early in the season, and with this being a 10-race season, not only is it the 10 races, it's every single Monday night. You have to be on your game at every single racetrack that we go to, and if you want to race these racetracks that we go to here on the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing, or maybe you want to try going road racing, maybe you want to do NASCAR Oval, whatever you want to do, you can find it here on iRacing. You can get 25% off renewals and 50% off new memberships by heading to iRacing.com/holiday-sale to see your deal renewals. Go until December 16th on that sale. And for more information on anything iRacing, head to iRacing.com and get your iRacing career either kickstarted or maybe restarted with that activation, the renewal on that holiday sale as we get ready to roll this first last chance showdown. Sean English ran really good in his heat race. You got Johnny Anderson, you got Timothy Smith, you got Dylan Yeager, obviously Aiden Forster qualified really well this evening as well, and you were only taking 2. This is going to be difficult for somebody.
And this is interesting here, these first 2 rows, all of those drivers, rookies to the series here in 2022. And, you know, that might not sound like anything, not a big deal here on a virtual game, but in my opinion, you know, we've heard real-life drivers, Tim, say that, you know, iRacing at a high level is almost more nerve-wracking than racing in real life. And I feel like these guys up front, you know, Bryce Lucius, Sean English, Andrew Heffler, along with Johnny Anderson, and even, you know, Aiden Forster back there on the 3rd row, these guys really don't have their feet too wet here with this series. They've had one race at this type of level. They are probably still very nervous when it comes to this thing. So it'll be interesting to see if they can, you know, sort things out and not cause any incidents here. The pace truck is off, and English on the gas early gets a huge jump over the rest of the field.
And that battle is going to be for position number 2, that final transfer position, and they're almost 3 wide as the 22 of Lucius tries to get back to the inside of the 39 of Heffler. It's going to be Smith picking up position number 2 and trying to leave them in his dust as they battle for a second. Here goes the 22 of Lucius back to the inside.
Yeah, Bryce Lucius good on the inside in turn number 1. Nice, see the slider right here for the 2nd spot up the racetrack. Can't clear him. Timothy Smith drives around him. Smith quickly from 5th to 2nd on lap number 1. We knew he was going to be probably the guy to watch for in this one. Now looking to track down the number 60 car of Sean English for some insurance, but here comes the driver on the inside. That's Dylan Yeager. Yeager from 7th is now looking for the 3rd spot down the front straightaway.
Remember, Dylan Yeager was done fairly early in his heat race. He was trying to pick up what he can here, and already to the inside, Dylan Yeager's on a mission. Sean English is your leader, but he might not be for long. Yeager working to the inside of Smith as you ride on board with Forster having a great battle for position. Unfortunately, he needs a couple more to get up to this battle for 2nd.
And nobody's been knocked out of this one quite yet. I just can't believe what we're seeing out of the 48 of Yeager on the very inside of the racetrack, especially on this side of the speedway. The bottom and 1 and 2 here at Eldora. Usually never hit your race leaders into the wall. The 60 car of English hit the wall right there. And just like that, we've got a 3-car battle for the lead down the front straightaway.
Kind of ironic with what Smith was able to do on the outside last week. Now Dylan Yeager works to the inside, trying to rock that thing into the lead as English, you'd have to believe, rookie to this series, trying to get up on the wheel, but he's got a lot of hungry competitors in behind him, and they are ready to go as the 86 goes to the inside.
Yeah, Smith tried to hit the bottom, got a little bit too sideways there. Might see a slider into turn number 3, and we do. Up the racetrack goes Smith, can't clear him. English drives around and maintains the race lead. 9 laps down and 4 to go for Sean English. The race is on for second as Yeager and Heffler try and work the bottom. Yeager's got it. Smith back around on the outside. Good race for second, and about to be a race for the lead. I bet you English is shaking in his boots right now, Tim. He did not make the show last week at Volusia, and he's trying to hang on to put it in his first ever Pro Series main event.
Heffler tried to get up there and make something happen, but he's going to lose a little bit of ground to these top 3. Smith on that outside like he was last week, trying to make it happen. English trying to hold on to that lead, and then Dylan Yeager working that inside with 2 to go.
Yeah, I don't think Smith is going to wait any longer to get by the number 60 of English, I should say. Thought we were going to see a slider there, but he did not get off the corner the way he needed. White flag is out as the number 60 of English has done everything right in this race, and it looks like he's going to hang on as they head into 3 and 4 for the final time. Timothy Smith to the inside, English on the outside, and Sean English is going to hang on and punch his ticket into his first ever World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts main event.
Solid performance in the heat race, able to get 5th, gave him that track position, and Sean English is going to come away with the victory. Great job by the rookie. Timothy Smith comes home in second. Dylan Yeager worked so hard on that inside line, just came up a couple of laps short of making it happen, and 1 position short ultimately at the end of it. Heffler, Davies, Forster, Lucius, Kaiser, and Johnny Anderson, after a great run in the heat race, is going to come home all the way back in position number 9 in a last chance showdown. We've got one more last chance showdown to come. Who's in this one?
Got the number 16 car of Blake Giglio on the pole of this one. Outside of him is the 174 of Loic Bernier. Row number 2 on the inside, the number 17 of Eric Whitner, and outside of him, it's the number 127 car of Blake Majulis. Row 3, see the 42 machine of Paul Bryan, and outside of him is the number 11 car of Kenny Hoffman. Row 4, the number 24 of Tanner Pettit, and outside of him is the 23 of Kenny Miller III. Row number 5 on the inside, the number 18 of Austin Semlin, and the number 51 car of Clayton Tilley will round out the field here in this one. And Tilley's the guy I'm going to watch for here in this one, Tim. He had a computer issue in the heat race. It was supposed to start on the pole or outside the front row, ended up falling out of the server, and now starts dead last in this one.
Yeah, he's got some positions to make up, and with a very solid field, he's going to have to get up on the wheel in this one. This is the final last chance showdown this evening, and then we will head to the feature. So this is the final chance for drivers to lock in, as we have 2 more positions. There is the schedule as well. We talked about the 10 consecutive Mondays, Williams Grove. Next week, I-55. Little holiday action with Bristol Dirt on December 26th, and then we head to the 5 Mondays in January to determine a champion in this World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. As you see, the field gridded and ready to go for this second last chance showdown to find 2 more, the final 2 competitors for tonight's feature.
Yeah, this is going to be quite the dogfight, and it looks like right now you're kind of missing your outside pole sitter here in this one. Loic Bernier, waiting to see him jump onto the grid here, but a lot of good competitors here in this one, including Majulis. I feel like he's the one to watch for. 18 car Austin Semlin, also watch for him from the tail. And, you know, we talked about this as well earlier, iRacing.com/WOOSC. If you are liking what you're seeing here tonight, you go to that link right there, you will find all the information that you need, the standings, the point standings that is, the schedule, the drivers. Well, we're still working on the drivers, but we're going to have that page up here very soon. I am actually looking at that link right now as we broadcast this race, and it is a very helpful link if you are more interested in this World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series. Head over there and check out what we have to offer.
As you look at the field and a few more seconds, and I do not see Lloyd Burke. Oh, there! Wow! Last moment for Mr. Bernier to join us on the grid. And, this is going to be a very difficult last chance qualifier for a couple of these drivers, because you got Giglio who ran strong. Bernier was just on the other side of that back and forth battle in the end of his heat race. Blake Majulis outside looking in very early in his heat race. This is going to be quite exciting to see what comes out of this last chance showdown to transfer into the A main.
Well, we mentioned Austin Selman here in this one as a guy to watch for, starting in the 9th position, a racer for Tony Stewart Racing. Yes, that Tony Stewart, the one that actually owns the Eldora Speedway in real life. Austin Selman has been a series competitor here in this World Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series for as long as I can remember, probably back into 2018. He's always been on the Tony Stewart Racing team. I actually met Austin in real life a couple months back. I want to say it was somewhere in Wisconsin when the World Outlaws real life series went through there. Great guy, and he's always fun to watch here on this sim, and we expect to see him maybe gain a couple of positions here in this one. It's going to be tough, though. Only taking the top 2. He starts back in 9th, so he's going to have some luck go his way, I would say, in this one, Tim.
Gonna have to get up on the wheel and show the talent as we get ready to send these drivers off for the final last chance showdown for round number 2 at Eldora. Green flag is out and we are underway, and Giglio gets that good jump and tries to take it away. 3 wide in behind for second on back as they all scatter behind your leader.
Majulis up into the 2nd spot, gets by Bernier, who crosses back underneath him down the front straightaway. Majulis might have caught the wall that time by. Down the main straightaway, Bernier slides back in front. Majulis crosses back to the inside. Whitner is there as well. Good 3-car battle for this 2nd spot. Whitner takes 3rd. Oh! Bernier gets into the back and hits the wall down the front straightaway.
That may end the chances for Bernier, though he's still on that inside line, hanging on. Gave Whitner a shot. The top 2 are able to get a little bit of an advantage as you ride on board with Paul Bryan. He's got a handful of steering wheel trying to get that thing towards the front.
And Clayton Tilley is on the move here, Tim. He's up from the 10th position to 5th. Needs to get by 3 more, but he needs to get going. He needs to get going right now. Up ahead of him, a slider for the 3rd spot. Kenny Hoffman takes it away from Whitner. That'll hold those guys up a little bit. Tilley trying to track him down in the 51 car.
To the outside is Whitner trying to hold on to a position, and up the hill he goes and gets denied through the middle. He's going to lose 2 more, and here comes Bernier right in behind Whitner. This has been a very exciting heat race as you ride on board with Eric Whitner, who almost transferred through the heat race, and he gets a little love from Bernier in behind.
What a camera angle. I love it on top of the wing like this. You can see so much what these drivers are looking at, and you see Whitner laser focused right there on the bottom right of the screen as he battles now with the number 42 of Paul Bryan behind him, and Tanner Pettit up the road as well. But here comes Tilley closing in on the 3rd position here. Kenny Hoffman is about to feel the wrath of car number 51. Tilley, with no yellows, is up from 10th to 4th and looking to get by for 3rd.
Yeah, but he's going to get up on the wheel here in these final couple of laps because Majulis is pulling away in position number 2, and your leader Giglio is gone by almost a second ahead of this battle between Hoffman and Tilley as they battle it out for position number 3. Unfortunately, it's the first spot on the outside looking in unless they can get up on the wheel and catch Majulis.
I'll tell you what, Tilley was the fastest of the 2 drivers up the road. Majulis a 13.82 and Tilley with a 13.66, but I just don't think there's enough time with 2 to go this time by. Tilley and Hoffman are running the hourglass. The sand is running out of the hourglass for these 2 guys back here as Majulis is not going to make a mistake. He's going to come to the white flag this time by. He knows he's got about a 10-car length advantage over the number 11 of Kenny Hoffman. As there's Clayton Tilley right up against the concrete. There's no room for mistakes up there, Tim.
Yeah, tough break for Tilley after missing the start of his heat, and right into the wall off at turn number 2 as they battle it out behind Blake Giglio as he comes off at corner number 4 and will win last chance showdown number 2 with Blake Majulis in a second. We saw that battle between Hoffman and Tilley. They were hoping for a mistake out of those top 2. They did not get it. Pettit, Whitner, Bryan, Bernier, Semmelman, and Miller complete your field in last chance showdown number 2. All the qualifying is complete. We've got round number 2, 35 laps coming up from Eldora after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series is brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. And by World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. Drive like an outlaw. Available now on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5.
And if you haven't picked up the World of Outlaws Dirt Racing, this is the time to do so. Available on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4 and PS5. And see the shots on your screen, including this racetrack we're running this evening in the game, Eldora Speedway, and 40-ish tracks, all the series that you would want. UMP Modifieds recently added as well. Chase, there's so much to do on this World of Outlaws Dirt Racing.
Yeah, there really is. You know, you talk about all those different series, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the World of Outlaws Case Late Models, the Super Dirt Car Series, as well as those UMP Modifieds you mentioned. And all those divisions, what the cool part is, they all have the drivers, the full-time drivers, I should say, are in it as well. You know, you got guys like Brad Sweet, Donnie Schatz, David Gravel in the Sprint Cars, Josh Richards, Boone Briggs, Morty Gundaker in the late models, and then Super Dirt Car Series, you got Billy Decker, Max McLaughlin, Stuart Friesen. You got Kenny Wallace out there in the UMP Modified as well. There's just so much to do. Online racing, career mode, co-op or not co-op, but split screen, whatever you want to call it. There's just so much to do. Great game, and now we are ready. It looks like we're ready for this feature event. Tim, let's take a look at this lineup. On the pole is going to be car number 5. That is Braden Eiler. He is from Franklin, Pennsylvania, and outside of him is car number 12, Alex Bergeron from Drummondville, Quebec, Canada. Row 2 on the inside, number 13 car, Aiden Beerline from Woodford, Virginia, and outside of him is the number 85 of Tyler Schell from Millersburg, Pennsylvania. Row 3 on the inside from Sevierville, Tennessee, the number 07 of Hayden Cardwell, and outside of him in the 6th position, the 00 car, Kendall Tucker from Mount Airy, North Carolina. Row 4 on the inside, car number 9, great starting spot for this rookie out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's Tanner Miller in car number 9. Outside of him is the 41 of Logan Rumsey from Manchester, Pennsylvania. Row 5 on the inside, the 14 of J.D. Brown from Bakersfield, California. And outside of him is the 74 of Adam Elby from Tracy, California. Row 6 on the inside, your 11th starter, car number 1, Mason Hannigan from Pittsboro, Indiana. And outside of him is the number 33 from Chesney, South Carolina. Evan C. starts 12th. Row 7 on the inside from Bomacene, Vermont, car number 25, Tyler Ducharme. And outside of him, it is the driver out of Santa Rosa, California, 52 car, James Edens. Row 8, the number 21 of John Helms from Olivehurst, California. And outside of him, the 49 of Ryan Avila from Lemoore, California. And then out of the last chance showdowns, car number 60, that'll be Sean English from Brandon, Florida. Outside of him is the 16 car of Blake Giglio. He's from Williamson, New York. Final 2 starters, the 86, Timothy Smith from Fulton, Missouri, and the number 127 of Blake Majulis will roll off shotgun on the field. He's out of Jamestown, New York. 20 cars, 35 laps, round number 2 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series from right here at Eldora Speedway. This is about to be good. I can guarantee you that, Tim. This place always puts on a show.
And I think the big thing that we saw last week is the outside line, and especially Timothy Smith make that outside line work. He's starting 19th this evening. We'll see if he can get any sort of line to work through over 35 laps and get it towards the front. Not a whole lot of time if you're Timothy Smith or Blake Majulis. As you see, the weather once again, winds picked up just a little bit from the last time that we checked in, but 70 degrees, track temperature at 73. You've got some obviously heavy hitters up in front. Alex Bergeron kind of pops off the page in position number 2. Aiden Beerline had a really good heat race as well. We'll start on the inside of row number 2, but you got some big names at the front. You got some big names at the back, big names in the middle of the pack. James Edens there just inside the top 15 as well. So Plenty to look forward to in this one. And then when you're done watching the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series, why don't you come over and do some racing with us on iRacing? 25% off renewals and 50% off new memberships. The 25% off renewals is good till December 16th. For more information on this deal, you can visit iRacing.com/holiday-sale to get in on it. And of course, head to iRacing.com for all the information on the sim and how to get your career started on the sim, as the field will roll off behind the pace truck. And we got 2 laps. Then we're going racing. Keep in mind, if you're new to the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing, no cautions in those heat races or those last chance showdowns. We will have cautions in this one, should they be warranted, and the caution laps do not count. We have 35 laps of green flag racing here this evening, so it might not seem like a whole lot of time, but we'll see what those guys at the back that might have missed it a little bit in their heat race can do as they come through the field. 1 to go. Chase, we're going green next time.
And as you can see from this great camera view, that the racetrack has been reworked after that break there. So they did go out, rework the racetrack. There's some more grip into it. They had the drivers go out and do a couple hot laps there to work in that new moisture. So there's going to be some different lines being used here early, and then by the end, we expect to see these guys right up against the concrete, as we always do here at the Eldora Speedway. Pace truck set to pull off at turn number 4, round number 2 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series on iRacing is set to go green. Braden Eiler leads him down the front straightaway.
Eiler had a great heat race, had a great qualifying effort this evening, and will roll from the front. And in behind him, we've got a little bit of a mess. You see the 9 of Tanner Miller coming through the middle of the pack as they thunder by and down the straightaway. We're still 2 and 3 wide, middle of the back. There's Rumsey in the middle of the back trying to make it happen in the 41.
And where did Tanner Miller come from here tonight? He was not even in the show at Volusia Speedway Park. He's now 3 wide in the middle off of turn number 4 for the 4th spot. Hayden Cardwell slides in front of Beerline, checks him up. Here comes the 85 of Shell to the inside. Shell and Miller get together. Miller gets sideways, hangs on it. We stay green, and now a race up front for the lead, but the yellow is going to come out. We've got a couple cars stopped here.
Beerline was headed towards the infield inside wall, and after starting up front after such a great heat race, Aiden Beerline is going to have to either come from the back or maybe sit the rest of this one out, because that thing, we'll take a look at the replay here in a moment, but that thing, Chase, was headed towards the inside retaining wall.
Yeah, probably a lot of damage on that machine for Aiden Beerline from Woodford, Virginia. One of our second-year drivers got together with Logan Rumsey. As you mentioned, there he is circled right there on your screen. Racing inside the top 5. They're 3 wide. They're 2 wide. They're all over the place. Rumsey on the bottom. Oh, a car gets checked up right in front of him. That was the 9 of Tanner Miller. Ran into the back of, maybe it was Tyler Shell. Checked him up, and then Beerline, not expecting that at all, goes around into the inside wall. So right now, do not see Beerline on the track. We will probably see him down on the pit lane trying to get some damage fixed on that car, along with the 41 of Logan Rumsey. Race leader right now, it looks to be the number 5 of Braden Eiler. Alex Bergeron in second, Hayden Cardwell in third, Tyler Shell, Tanner Miller, the top 5. And as I mentioned there, let me just double check my roster here, Tim. Last week, Tanner Miller 8th in the last chance showdown, did not even make the show, and tonight he's in the 5th.
And had that one little scare right there in that incident, and we kind of saw a little bit of green flag at the start of last week's race, but compared to what we saw, and I think it goes back, Chase, to what you said this racetrack is going to do. Maybe a little more sense of urgency in the first couple of laps to get some passes done, knowing this racetrack is going to eventually work itself in. We saw the 2 and the 3 wide. We'll see what happens here with Eiler as the field single file works around the outside. They will come this time to the green flag. We are back underway as Eiler leads them down into corner number 1. We'll see how much they get fanned out here. You can already see those 2 distinct lines starting to form.
Eiler hit the wall off of 2. Bergeron sees the door open, slides in front, takes the lead away. Eiler took it across back underneath him down into turn number 1. He does not do it. Bergeron runs the middle. Wow, Eiler nearly turned him around into turn number 1 right there, but Alex Bergeron is now the leader here at Eldora Speedway.
Eiler going to try to get that outside line working, but Bergeron, what a run to the front, and begins to inch away early in this one. Will complete 6 laps this next time by the 5 of Eiler. Cardwell in the 07 in third, but Cardwell under fire from J.D. Brown.
Now J.D. Brown is on the move, started ninth, is up into the 4th spot, running the middle part of the racetrack. The 14 has found a different line up front, though, right in the 2nd spot. Cardwell trying it to the outside of Eiler right there. They nearly bang wheels at the end of the back straightaway. Cardwell's going to run down the front straightaway. Does he do anything with it? No, Eiler still has the 2nd spot.
And J.D. Brown up in the mix of this one as well. You see Tyler Schell on your screen in the 85. He is going backwards. Kendall Tucker makes a move. Hannigan makes the move. Schell losing a couple of positions here.
Yeah, Schell going backwards in car number 85. Not a good start to this one for Tyler Schell. Running in the 8th position, Hayden Cardwell. And the number 5 of Eiler. The driver's on your screen right now. Eiler gets to the cushion. Big run down the front stretch for Hayden Cardwell. Looking to take the 2nd spot away. Slides in front of the number 5 car. He's got 2nd for now. Eiler crosses back underneath, but looks like Cardwell's going to have the spot down the back straightaway.
Cardwell has it for the time being, but there goes the 5 once again. As you ride on the double box, it's Cardwell and Eiler, 2nd and 3rd. They continue to swap those positions, and Cardwell trying to make something happen, and Eiler is zoned in on the VR headset as they go at it, and Cardwell might have got a little piece of the wall there.
Caution is out here on lap number 11. We got a car around. It is the number 52, James Edens. Edens, after a good run last week, 2nd in the feature at Volusia, actually getting together with his teammate here, the 74 of Adam Elby. Elby hit the wall off a 2, came down the track, got into Edens. We'll see a replay of it here in just a moment, but wow, teammates getting together, and it takes out James Edens, who started off the year so strong, and now a lot of damage to the top wing and some damage to the suspension on that Swindell Speed Lab Esports number 52 car here, as we are closing in on about a third of the way through this race, Tim.
Yeah, we got 10 laps completed in this one, and that battle, as you mentioned, was around position number 9 and 10. We'll see it right here. You see the replay coming up, and we'll roll it here. There's the Edens machine in the 52. You saw him in the highlighted box. There's Elby just getting the wall, and down onto the racetrack. Just couldn't collect it in time, and gets into Edens, and Edens going to get a little piece of Sean English as well. Take a look up in front. You watch that Elby car on the outside, trying to get that line, just gets the wall right there, and right down into the 52, and then calamity from there.
And LB drives away smelling like a rose right there. So that's a tough deal for James Edens. I know those two guys, really good friends in real life. They actually raced together at the Delta Speedway in Stockton, California, and they've been friends for a long time. So that's going to be an awkward conversation later on during the team meeting, I'm sure, but they'll get over it. I know those guys, I've been friends with them for a long time, so no big deal there. But up front, it's all about Bergeron. Cardwell now in 2nd. I talked about it at the top of the show, Tim. The race here at Eldora back in 2020 between Bergeron, Cardwell, and former series champion Tim Ryan was one that I will never forget. Will we see a replay of that here as the 12 and the 07 are going back at it down the front straightaway as we go back green?
We'll see what happens here as Bergeron takes advantage once again. He was able to take the upper hand on that last replay run. Look at J.D. Brown already to the inside in the 14 trying to make things happen.
Yeah, J.D. Brown's been good on the inside of the racetrack all race long. From 9th, he's up into the 4th spot. Behind him, Mason Hannigan, also a big mover in this one, 11th to 7th, as Cardwell is now caught up to Bergeron off of turn number 2. Got a run down the back straightaway. Does he go anywhere with it? Yes, to the inside goes Cardwell. He'll slide in front, take the lead. Just clip the whiskers on the number 12 car of Bergeron, but Bergeron back to the inside, takes the lead right back.
You saw it up the road on that onboard with Logan Rumsey. 12 back up the hill. The 07 of Cardwell going to point it down to the inside, and Bergeron took that little bit of a move. It almost looked like he was trying to stop the momentum from Cardwell. He'll take the advantage back, will Hayden Cardwell, and now Bergeron looks to that inside, trying to make something happen. Can't do it right there. Cardwell might have got the fence a little bit out of the corner. Tries to ride that concrete around the outside. He'll maintain the advantage on Bergeron.
I think it's going to be tough to beat Hayden Cardwell in this one. I talked about it in the middle part of this show. He's one of the best there ever was at running the top of the racetrack anywhere on iRacing when it comes to the dirt stuff, and he is pulling away from Bergeron, who's now into the clutches of the number 5 of Braden Eiler. Eiler points the car to the inside. He's looking to take the 2nd spot in turn number 2.
Eiler tries to take that spot away. Bergeron looks back to the inside, and look how smooth Bergeron is. He's got that focus in. It almost looks like he's not really jawing on that steering wheel compared to what Hayden Cardwell is, but they continue to work around this racetrack. Two of the best in the business when it comes to the World of Outlaws CarQuest Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing, as we are at the halfway point in this event, round number 2. And look at this mess. Blake Majulis on the back of the pack has worked his way into the top 10.
Yeah, great run for the 127. How many times did we say that during the World of Outlaws late model series? Majulis, I should say, from the Last Chance Showdown is now up into the 8th position on the inside of the racetrack. Everybody else on the top. And Blake Majulis has got the inside line rolling right now as he's looking to make his way into the top 5. Still plenty of time, 15 to go this time by.
Still 15 laps to go. We saw 2 cautions early in this race. We'll see if they play into the hand of a guy like Majulis trying to get up here and get some position. There's the 49 of Avila up the hill, and oh, there goes Elby battling it out as Blake Majulis holds on to that position. Elby trying to fend off Avila in front of him as you now ride on board with Elby, and up the hill goes at 49. Almost got the fence a little bit there.
Great race for second. Now Bergeron takes it back away from Braden Eiler. They slid each other a couple times, but Bergeron now solidly back to second and maybe about half a second behind your race leader. Here comes Eiler back to the inside, slides back in front of Bergeron. Great race for second as Cardwell tries to pull away.
That's the great thing about this series. So many great battles top to bottom in this field. Bergeron holds on to that spot over Eiler. Eiler's going to have to regroup and try to take something away from Bergeron as they battled. Hayden Cardwell has built about a 0.6 of a second lead back to Bergeron. Bergeron has to dig and dig big here in these final 10 laps. He'll come by this time with 10 to go.
Yeah, Eiler must have made a mistake. He falls off the rear bumper of Bergeron. Now he's way behind. Top 5 all pretty spread out here in this one. Back behind, here comes Majulis trying to put a move on Adam Elby. He goes by for about the 9th position. Majulis still trying to charge his way to the front of the field as Elby looks to cross back underneath him down the backstretch.
Look at the battle here as Majulis tries to get by Elby as they continue to do battle. This is the battle for position number 9 as Avila's been able to pull away from this battle. Elby back to the inside as Helms also a part of this, trying to get a top 10 effort out of this race at Eldora. Up in front, not missing much at all, Hayden Cardwell.
Yeah, there goes Helms, the big move, got by 2 cars. Elby able to cross back to the inside. Good run here. John Helms, one of our rookie contenders this season, has been strong both races so far. In car number 21 up into 10th, now 3 wide for 9th. Helms in the middle, Elby into the wall off of 2. Majulis is there as well, and here comes Timothy Smith from the tail as well.
Smith started on that last row as well, looking to get at least a top 10 effort out of this, but
oh, we got a wreck ahead of him.
Here we go. We'll see if this brings out a yellow flag. We are still green flag racing, though somehow they collected it.
The 25 of Ducharme and the number 49 of Avila all got tangled up there, and they kept on going. I thought for sure we'd see the caution flag fly, but up front we got a race for second again. Braden Eiler to the inside of Bergeron. These two cannot figure it out. They don't know who wants to take second off of turn number 4 as Eiler hits the wall again and gives it right back to Bergeron.
There is so much going on in this racetrack, it is hard to keep track. The only one that is by himself right now is Hayden Cardwell. Everybody else in this racetrack at Eldora has a dancing partner. There goes Eiler, working back to the outside, goes back to the inside of Bergeron. Bergeron trying to hold on to what is second. Gonna have to dig deep here. Oh, by the way, where did Kendall Tucker come from?
And 2 laps to go this time by. Tucker is right behind these two. Oh, Eiler smoked the wall off of 4 right there. Here comes Tucker with a huge run. He'll try and go by both of them in turn number 1. Kendall Tucker takes second away. What a move from the 00 car right there.
And he's bringing J.D. Brown along with him as well. This is a battle for second on back, but that is all it is Bergeron takes second. Third is going to be the battle at the end as Tucker tries to now take second away from Bergeron. We are on the final lap here at Eldora. It is a battle for second. It's all behind Hayden Cardwell. Cardwell comes up at a turn number 4. He'll win round number 2 of the World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series, powered by iRacing. Alex Bergeron, Kendall Tucker are your podium here this evening. J.D. Brown and Braden Eiler, who started on the pole, finishes in 5th. Where did Kendall Tucker and J.D. Brown come from in those closing laps?
And how about Ryan Avila, one of the rookies this year, 16th to 6th for that driver. Blake Majulis, 20th to 8th. A lot of movers and shakers in that one, and there is Cardwell. He is your winner here tonight. Probably a little bit of revenge, I should say, from that race back in 2020 that I talked about a few times here tonight. He finally breaks through and gets a win with the Sprint Car Series here at the Big E.
There are your results. We talked about those top 5, top 6, back to Avila, Adam Elby, Blake Majulis. What was a battle for 10th at best at the end, Chase? Had Tyler Ducharme and a couple of others make a little bit of contact. Tyler Schell kind of opened the door there for those guys to move up a little further into the top 10. John Helms, Evan C. in 12th. I think when we talk about the pro level World of Outlaws iRacing series, the last little bit. I think that's the worst that Evans finished with us last little bit. Mason Hannigan, Timothy Smith in the back, Blake Giglio, Tanner Miller, Sean English, Logan Rumsey 18th, Adam Bierlein after the strong run that he had early in qualifying finishes in 19th, and James Edens rounds out your field. Did not finish here this evening at Eldora. What a race. Top to bottom, there was racing all throughout the field. We talked about that battle in around 10th place with Majulis battling it out with Adam Elby, and then we had the battle for second back and forth. It was all behind Hayden Cardwell at the end of that one, but man, there was something to watch all throughout.
Yeah, there really was. I mean, the entire race behind Hayden Cardwell, your race winner for second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way through was great stuff, as you mentioned there, Tim. And now we are standing by with tonight's race winner, the number 07, the driver out of Tennessee, Hayden Cardwell, getting the win here tonight. And Hayden, another masterful drive here from Eldora Speedway. I talked about the race between yourself, Bergeron, and Tim Ryan from a few years ago. That night, I feel like you had a car to win, but unfortunately was not able to get the job done. Does this feel like revenge a little bit from that year?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think last year, the last time we had this series as well, I led 34 of the 35 laps, and Edens got me on the last lap. So it feels good. You know, this is one of my favorite racetracks on the sim. Just like getting elbows up on the top. 35 laps don't seem like a lot, but I'm definitely worn out after that one.
Now, last week, not a very good result. 8th in the last chance showdown. But now, I mean, from basically worst to first here in 2 weeks, what changed from last week to this week? I know that you race in real life and you got a lot of stuff going on in the real life as well. So maybe not as much focus on this as there used to be, but what changed from this week to last week?
Yeah, you know, for sure. Just really haven't had too much time to really practice, and I actually got more practice for Volusia, which I really don't know what happened there. Just wasn't any good. Struggled all night, but you know, the guys hooked me up with a good piece this week, and you know, I had a good car at Volusia. Just driver didn't get it done. So last year I didn't make the race there, and this year I didn't make the race there. So we'll just try to see if we can pick off some wins and just move up in the championship a little bit.
At what point in the race there tonight did you think you had a car to contend for the win with Bergeron? You were riding behind Eiler there for a while, and your car looked fast, but at what point in time did you realize, man, I got something to contend with these guys?
Yeah, you know, I knew that I was a second-place car when I was behind Eiler. I just really couldn't set him up to pass him. And then when we got that yellow, I could really tell once I got some clean air to actually run the line that I wanted to, I could really get all over Alex, and it didn't take too long to finally clear him, and was just pretty comfortable the rest of the way. You know, like everybody knows, if there's a cushion, I'm gonna be up there. So you know, it feels really good to come back and you know, get off a big win here tonight. You know, I appreciate everybody at iRacing, you guys for the broadcast. Like I said, you guys do a hell of a job all the time. You know, all the guys on Slick that really make this happen for me, and just everybody that makes this still happen. It's really cool.
All right, Hayden Cardwell, congratulations on the victory. We will see you next week when we come back at Williams Grove Speedway.
Thanks, guys.
Hayden Cardwell getting the win here during round number 2. Second place tonight, car number 12, Alex Bergeron, a first and a second to start off the 2022 campaign. You really can't get much better than that, Alex, to start out this year and get that points lead already strung out quite a bit here.
Yeah, it's really good for us. You know, we definitely had a good run tonight. You know, in the future with the track reset, we didn't really, get ready for that. You know, we made a few adjustments before the feature, and it was not perfect for a feature. So we did the best we could. We held on to it, and, we came second. So we stayed in the position we started in. So obviously, like you said, it's really good for the points, and that's what we want for a championship. So we'll keep going like that.
You and Braden had a really good battle about the last 15 or so laps on that one. What more did you need out of your car to contend with Hayden for the victory here tonight?
I think it's just, running to be able to run the top and have a bit more speed on the straightaways. I think that was the main thing. We were really good at the beginning with the track being the way it was, but with the momentum line going around the top, it was really hard for us to keep going, and made one mistake there at the end, hit the wall a little bit, so that definitely hurt us. So it was a mistake on my own, and we'll definitely try to learn from that. Well,
nice job tonight. A first and a second to start off the year, and now next week heading off to one of your favorite racetracks, Williams Grove Speedway. We'll see you there.
Thank you. And before I go here, definitely got to thank Team ABR Esports, Aiden, Jason, Rebecca. Aiden did pretty good tonight. He started in third, so definitely proud of him and everything he does. And so definitely got to thank all of our partners, prepare info development, A1 simulation, BitLogic, CSI Shocks, BNB Dirt Racing Simulators, Aces Up Sim Sports, Redline Race Designs for the Awesome Paint, Stockholm Joint Simon Jens, CD Cinematography, L'Ami Colbassi Le Garage, and Gazon Trois. So thank you so much, everyone, and thank you guys for watching and doing an awesome job also for the broadcasting. So thank you, guys.
All right, Alex Bergeron with a second-place result here tonight from Eldora Speedway. And in third, a great run for Kendall Tucker. Kendall, a third-place result, your best of the season so far. And you're riding in fourth there for a long time. And then Eiler and Bergeron kind of got together a little bit off of four. That one time you slipped by both of them. Thought we were going to see you in second, but tonight a third-place result. Nice job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was definitely a good run for us tonight. Coming off of last week, pretty poor effort on my part, just all night long, really just qualified bad and got behind in the heat race, barely transferred, and got caught up in a couple wrecks, trying to come up through the field in the A there. But, luckily was able to qualify, pretty decent tonight and finished second there in the heat and set us up there, for a good starting spot in the A, and honestly fell back there to eighth, I think the first 4 or 5 laps, and luckily the top kind of came around and was able to run the cutback line pretty good, throughout the whole race, and got to fourth there and just tried to stay as close as I could to second and third just in case something happened because Hayden was pretty checked out there. So luckily they got to sliding and we was able to reel them in and capitalize, got to second there for a minute, and Alex snuck back by us there and just didn't really have enough laps to try and battle with him there for the rest of the race. But, to finish third, I'm pretty tickled with that.
I'll tell you what, every time we see you in one of these World Championships, whether it's the sprint cars or the late models, you're always one of the most consistent guys that we see no matter what. I know last week was a big disappointment of Volusia finishing way back in 15th or something like that, but how disappointing is it to think about that 15th and come right back out with a third-place run, knowing you've got the speed. It's just had one bad week, and it's going to set you that far behind the 8-ball.
Yeah, I think this is our probably 6th pro season we've ran, 6th or 7th, and that's the worst opening round finish I've ever had. So definitely put us behind the 8-ball there early. So all we can really do is just try and play catch up, the last 8 weeks here, and hopefully, fight for some wins. And I'd like to click off a couple this season, if I could. So we're going to give it our best shot, and see if we can stay up front, maybe pick up a couple wins this season.
Well, Kendall, nice job here tonight with the P3, and we hope to be talking to you again here next week at Williams Grove.
Yep, sounds good. And I just got to thank, my guys at Swindell and Slick for keeping me up to speed and everything they do for me over there. And Dustin Hall with Dominator Designs and iRaps and, all the guys at World of Outlaws and everything for putting on the series, for another year. Hopefully it'll continue on in the future. So I guess we'll see you guys next week.
All right, Kendall Tucker, P3 here tonight from Eldora Speedway and car number 00. But tonight, Tim, it's all about Kendall Tucker all about, I should say, Hayden Cardwell. Next week, it's all about that place right there, the Williams Grove Speedway, the biggest track that we visit on this World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series schedule. December 12th, 9 p.m. Eastern. There's that world-famous bridge at one of the most famous dirt tracks in all of the United States.
And I think if you look off to the right of this pan shot, Nim Cross is already in the grandstands waiting for this one next week at Williams Grove Speedway. The first 2 races have put on a phenomenal show for this World of Outlaws CarQuest Auto Parts Sprint Car Series powered by iRacing. Cannot wait to see what round number 3 will hold in 1 week time. That's going to do it for us here this evening. Congratulations to the top 3, Hayden Cardwell picking up a win, Alex Bergeron and Kendall Tucker taking away the podium positions. On behalf of Chase Rodman and our entire crew, thank you for joining us here this evening. We will see you next week at the Grove. Until next time, keep the hammer down. We'll see you at the track.